Hey guys, it's MEIKEN. I'm here with Abbey, who I like to call my spiritual accountant. How you going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm good. We've got my cats kind of jumping up trees. Shit's happening. We have an acupuncture mat under our feet to keep us nice and grounded while we're talking. And basically, we're going to go in today, like, not accounting for dummies, but the financial literacy that maybe some people don't know the words or the meaning for. We're just going to go through foundations. Does that sound relatively simple?
Yeah.
Yes, because I personally, as an artist, ABN holder, soul trader, empath, I don't particularly have awareness of these things. It was never taught to me in high school or my family. So there's lots of people out there like me, and I guess all of this is about also removing like any money shame or any blocks to abundance, be that energetic or health or wealth or financial. It's just kind of removing any barriers between you and like doing great shit, right? Yeah. Cool. So just to give you guys a bit of a background, Abby's been helping me. I'm doing my tax returns at the moment, and there's lots of things I just didn't understand the basic understanding of. And so I asked Abbey to come on over and help me out, and we thought it would be worth sharing, right? Because lots of people don't know this stuff. Yeah. And what's your background, just so people know?
Oh, yeah. So basically, I am an accountant. I've been an accountant for the last better part of a decade.
Your whole life.
Yeah, my whole adult life. And yeah, I guess now that I've stepped into kind of like the spiritual community and the conscious community, it's trying to integrate those two aspects. So where
don't tell me money's not spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess it's all about putting the power back into your business so that your business can then help the world.
Yeah, and for me personally, it's re-empowering myself with financial understanding so I can understand what I'm doing. So to give a little example, I used to be really good with my bookkeeping. I do everything very manually on Excel. I earned a certain amount of money. I didn't have time. I was touring. I gave my power away to accountants. That's how I explain it. I just like trusted. I was like, right, you do everything. I'm not going to have a relationship with my money anymore. I'm not even going to like look at what's in and out. I just trust that you're going to do it. And in doing that, over like 4 or 5 years, I lost touch with where my business was at. And I just, for me, this process has been about reclaiming my power, and sitting with someone like Abbey is so good because she's not just going to do it for me. It's like, okay, well, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And if I don't understand it, I'll be like, hey, could you please go over that again? Yeah. And then we'll write like cheat sheets so I can go and do my homework, and then I can like get in contact at the allocated hours that I've paid for with respective boundaries and be like, hey, I forgot what this meant. Like, how do we do this? So anyway, we've got some little like cheat sheets, I guess, for everyone to take away.
Yeah, and I guess the big thing is there is no shame and judgment. From my perspective, I'm here to help you, to make you feel better about it, not to sit there and go, oh, you should be doing that, or you should be, I feel like there's a lot of, abrasiveness from some of the
systems or like accounting. Like, how many of you have that, like, that feeling? Like, I personally, I don't like walking into a firm. I'd rather call someone to come into my music studio and sit with me in my energy field and go through my foundations and go, hey, there's a gap here. This bookkeeping's dodgy. This doesn't look good. Let's fix this. And like in that way, like, I'm an energy worker as well. Abbey works with energy as well. It's a full process. It's not just doing your books, because nothing's ever just one-dimensional. We understand if we're dealing with bad finances, we're dealing with root, lack of safety, family support, possibly sexual trauma. There's all these interweaving dimensionalities, yeah? And it's like, I don't want a one-dimensional accountant anymore. So that's, aka Abbey comes on in because it's everything all the time. So I guess it's also important to chuck into this conversation before we take off as well. This is also about full integration of everything, and understanding that all this creation that we have all created beautifully together in co-creation, it's all spiritual. Okay, so that means don't go full hippie like me. No, just mean don't go full hippie, like whatever you need to do to like work through trauma and whatever. But this is also really important to say, I guess, from a personal perspective, is whatever we're going through in our life, it reflects in our finances. That's just obvious, yeah. And we're human, so I think there's a lot of shame or stuff with people don't want to show accountants that they don't know their Xero or their MyAb or their QuickBooks or their accounting. There's shame in like, fuck, I didn't earn over 10 grand this year. Hey, that's okay. You were in a domestic violence situation. Hey, that's okay. You had memory surface in meditation of being raped when you were 3 years old. Hey, that's okay. Like, life happens and you had some kids. So it's like, I guess what Abbey's doing, or your services, is like tailoring a process that like removes any of that worry or fear that people might have around, because finances are quite personal.
Yes.
And just being like, hey, it's okay.
There's a lot of trust in it too, you know, because you are, even it's finances, you're still knowing every aspect of a person to understand their finances, so you can know how to work with those figures to make it the best possible result. So you have to kind of know your client or your friend or whoever on a deeper level, so you can make those judgment calls on the income and expenses, because without knowing that bigger picture, like you can send an accountant figures and each accountant will give you the same results, but it's the accountant that asks the questions.
You're like, who are you?
That's what changes the outcome.
Totally. And you don't want to just be like another like rat system, walk into some building, it looks really swanky, they're going to charge you like God knows how much for a return, then they're not going to tell you how they did it because they want to keep that, I would say, power, and you know, that's how they make their money. So this is all about re-empowering the people with information, and like myself included. So let's go into some tips. Basic foundational understanding of financial literacy. Number 1. Okay, what is profit?
Okay, I feel like I'm at school.
Great.
So profit is your income minus your expenses is your net profit. So basically, when you subtract all of your expenses from your income, you're left with your profit, and that's what you pay tax on.
Yeah, done. So if I make $30,000 one year, but I spend like $20,000 on my business in music equipment and whatever,
your $10,000 profit.
There you go. That's profit. All right. What's loss? And does loss mean like loss this week, or is loss only calculated at the end of a tax year?
Yeah. So loss is only calculated at the end of a tax year. I mean, you can go into accounting loss and tax loss, but let's
too complicated.
So a loss is when your expenses exceed your revenue. So you spent more than what you received, therefore you create a loss.
Yeah, and that's not bad, because a lot of the time people are setting up businesses or whatever. It can take a few
3
years to get on track, so that might be pretty relevant for a lot of people.
Yeah, losses are good because that loss will offset future income years.
Awesome. So you're not going to get taxed too intensely when you do start making money.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. What is debt?
Debt is when you owe money to someone else.
Usually a bank.
Yeah.
And assets. What are assets?
Assets is when you like buy equipment for your company.
Cool. So my DJ gear is an asset. My car is an asset.
Yes.
And they have depreciation value, right? So you bought them at one price and they go down.
Yes.
I didn't know what depreciation meant. So, a liability?
A liability is, a debt is a liability. So it's when you owe money or owe to somebody else.
Nice. And then I guess people use different platforms for accounting. I use Xero, which is awesome, but I just didn't understand the platform, and it's taken someone like Abbey to actually explain to me, this drop down tab means this is a profit and loss sheet. You know, I just didn't know the rules, but once you understand all the parts to it, you can make it work for you, I guess. Yeah. So the main one I wanted to talk about is like a chart of accounts. Like, how do you break that down for someone, what a chart of accounts is?
Yeah, so that's a list of all your accounts, bank accounts, your assets, your liabilities, your revenue, your expenses. So basically, I would focus on just the income, the revenue, and the expenses. So making sure your chart of accounts clearly identifies what different revenue streams you have and the different expenses you have, bearing in mind that anything personal related won't go into those income and expenses. That's completely separate because you're working on business, a business model here.
Yeah, so if you're just buying food for the week, your groceries for yourself or your family, that's personal, right? But business, so my general expenses for business might be my insurance for all my music gear. It might be buying new computer consumables that also have depreciation value. And then what's something, so in a chart of accounts for me, I guess in expenses, I'd break down all those expenses I have that are ongoing, whether that's like my car costs, travel costs, and then in my expenses side, in my revenue side, I would have things like gigs I get paid for emceeing. I have MC. These birds are so fucking loud. So they're all coming in. So for my revenue, I'd have like my MC gigs, my branding clients, any healing stuff I do, and I kind of split those out, and which is also good for me to track like where's my money coming in and where are my main clients and stuff. So I guess that's useful that way.
Yeah, because when you're tracking and you can see when you've got a clear identification of what it is, you can make better decisions because you can see how much you're making or how much you're spending in certain areas and then adjust it.
Totally. And then do we have any tips, I guess, takeaway tips for people that they want to maybe implement in the now moment to do with?
Don't be scared. So just look at your stuff. You know, it's
bookkeeping isn't that scary, but if you let it build up, you know, like me, I was like, oh, far out, I've got to catch up on all these years, and you don't want to be a bad student. There's like this thing playing out of like the big tax man's like the principal, and you're going to get in trouble for not doing your homework. And I didn't want to do things wrong in the system that I would then have to go and do again, kind of thing. But you were saying like just do it anyway, and we can do it again. Like,
because technology and the way AI works now, you can just undo, redo, recode. Like it's so the information that the software provides and how it matches and records, it's so intricate now because technology is advancing. So just go and do it, and then get somebody to help you with it later.
Yeah, this is like us giving you a permission slip to fuck up and then like do it over, or get someone like Abbey to help you redo it. And receipts, like this is like 2020 almost. Do we have to keep receipts anymore?
Oh man, I mean, people are gonna love or hate my answer here, but a lot of accounts will be like, you've got to keep all your receipts. Realistically, like anything under $80, nah. And it's on your bank statement as well. And if you take a photo of it and send it to Xero stores it indefinitely. So gone are the days where we actually need paper. So,
physical stuff. You can get rid of that old energy, but there's heaps of apps. You take a photo of the receipt, the minute you get it, boom, it goes straight to your cloud or wherever, and then you don't have to hold that weight.
Yes. Yeah.
And how many years do we have to hold on to all our files and stuff?
7 years. Yeah, so 7 years.
7 years, and then we can get rid of stuff.
Yep.
Thank God. Thank God. Cool. And then I guess to kind of wrap things up, or we're going to do another session later, and we'll talk to you guys again in another video for sure. But the really important thing that we've been focusing on is that it's all one thing. So our finances, our emotional stability, our traumas, it's all intertwined. You think that they're completely separate and they're not related, but your childhood, your traumas, your emotions, your baggage, your spirituality, all those aspects of you play out in your business. So and our core belief systems they're gonna roll into our business, they're gonna roll into our relationships, they're gonna roll into just all about our own perspective on the world, right?
So I think it's time we shine a light on some of it.
Gotta shine the light. Like she comes into my office, I'm like, oh my God, I just don't want to show you all this accounting. She's like, just turn it on. She turns it on. I was like, oh, it's okay, So like take me as an example. I had like 5 years to catch up on or something ridiculous, and the amount of stories we put ourselves under. Oh, I didn't do it because I was in domestic violence, or I didn't do it because I was in a relationship. Like outside blame. The reality is it's me, and I didn't do it because I didn't do it.
But like how long and how easy has the process been?
Like really? 4 hours and it's done. But in my head I'm like, this is gonna take forever. So it's it's the story our mind identifies with and tries to attach to, rather than just going, okay, this happened and this has happened and I'm over here and I'm just going to come in and like clear it. So for me, I want to say thank you to Abbey anyway for just coming in and help me like clear. So no one can tell me that money is not spiritual at all. And I guess that's also how we want to wrap up, is that there's so much psychic space that our financial tabs take up. We're both empaths, and so you guys might be super sensitive if you're listening to this. If we clear our house, we sage everywhere, we do witch things in the backyard and have, the people from the fire patrol come up, because you're not meant to have fires this time of year. If we're doing all of our shamanic practices and we're clearing all of our fields, doesn't it make sense that you should clear your finances, right?
Yeah, sage the shit out of it.
Sage the shit out of your Xero, sage the shit out of your bookkeeping. Like, there's so much story attached. Oh, this is the time I went out for dinner with this guy or girl. Or, oh, I remember when I moved into this house. So, like, you don't want those memories stored. Like, and to just correlate this, I picked up an old, film negative yesterday, and I went and got them developed. It was an old picture, whatever you call it. I didn't even know I still had it. And those photos on those negatives were from I don't know, 3-4 years ago, and I got those photos back and I was like, oh my god, these memories, I don't want them. Then I could tear them up, but I still had the negatives. So for me, shamanically, I was like, oh my god, this is my finances, and all those memories that are imprinted in my physical body, even though they're just on my computer on the system, that's still in my field.
Yeah.
So
we cleared it out now.
We cleared it out. She's very shamanic. You work
Yeah.
shamanically, and you also work with like NLP and timelines, and you know, I do energy work, and I do Psych K and changing belief systems around everything with money. But we are both ultimately energy workers, you know. So under the accounting expertise, under the music, DJ, comedy expertise, we're energy workers. So at the end of the day, it's all energy.
Money is energy.
Money is energy, and you know, we've got to get our structures and our foundations sorted so we can have more abundance, so we can help more people, and everyone can wake the fuck up and have an earth party, right? That's it from us. Any questions? I'll link Abby's details below. Maybe you're going to be her new client. I don't know. Maybe she can help you. Maybe I can help you. Maybe we can help you. Share this with friends if you think it might be useful. Remember, there is no guilt. There is no shame. We are all human. We are all developing all the time. Happy now. Thank you, Abby.
Thank you.
Thank you to the cats who got involved, and we will see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.